Then let's talk about the cab mounts, body mounts, and this is the new model that is specified by GM to be the one of the solutions to the Chevy shake on the 2014 through 2019 Silverados and Sierras. And I'll be honest with you, it looks exactly like the one that's already in there. I don't know, there is a stamp number on here of 5301, and I'm not really seeing any other part numbers on here, so I'm going to get up underneath there and pull the other one out, one of the other ones out. And basically what we'll do is, in this situation, there's probably 4 or 6 cab mounts, most likely 6, 2 underneath the cab and then 1 up front by the radiator support. We'll loosen up or drop the main bolts through all of them so we can get separation on the cab. Then we will, these 2 studs have nuts on them that holds this to the frame, and so with all of the cab bolts out, we should be able to go up, and there's an arch over the tranny, or behind the tranny, over which the drive shaft goes through, and it's got enough beef on it where we can probably put a 2x4 on there with a jack and get some body separation. Here's the rear ones. These will be the ones that we're replacing. And up here we got the fronts. We'll check all the way up front. We've got 1 up by the radiator support. Honestly, these should not need to probably even be unbolted. We can probably get enough flex because we just want to separate the front ones and we want to remove the rear ones, so we can swap those out. But we're going to go ahead and pull the big studs that are connecting the cab to the chassis, or to the mount itself. We'll drop those out on all 4 corners, and then we'll come back on the rears, and then there's the 2 studs right there with the little nut on there. So the big one is a 21 millimeter. The smaller ones I believe are a 15 from the looks of it. Let's bust this big one's loose real quick. Brace up right here with the jack stand. Probably try and hit it right there. Should be a good solid spot, and that will give us the separation that we need to pull them out. So I'll be back after I get all this hardware out on the other side and get everything ready to go, and then we'll record separating the cab and putting the new body mounts in. Got all the hardware out of the rear mounts, the studs, the body studs out of the front. Got my jack stand, my cheap trusty jack stand with the extension riser, and a good old 4x4. So we're going to run her up here, make contact, and then we're going to slightly lift the body. Now you got to remember that we only want to lift this thing enough to get the old mounts out, which looking at, we're actually going to have to probably go about 2 inches to get past the rubber. But you got to remember that there's stuff attached to the frame, and stuff attached to the body, and stuff going from the frame to the body, etc., etc. Most of it should have enough slack that it's not going to cause an issue, but just don't go any further than you have to. You don't want to accidentally tear something up, and be slow and deliberate. You know, watch your sheet metal underneath here that you're lifting on. Hopefully my jack goes high enough. Get my 4x4 in here. It's going to be close. Okay. Maybe not. Okay, we're out. So let's grab our new one. Drop her right in. Okay, we want to come down slowly, make sure that everything settles back into place properly. It looks like we might have to pull it to the side a little bit, but we're not going to worry too much about it till we get the other side done. We'll go ahead and move over to the other side. So side's looking all right. We got good separation on the front one, so that's kind of what we wanted, was that to get reseated also. And got both in. It's time to throw the hardware back on. For the small bolts that mount the body mount to the frame, they're 32 foot-pounds. The big ones are 122 foot-pounds. And while we're here, let's talk a little bit about torque wrenches. If you're doing any kind of work like this, you need a good one. Not even necessarily a good one, you just need a reliable one. And whenever you're done using it, always set it back to 0. And before you use it the next time, you want to either go over to your vise or weld a socket down, and you want to put your torque wrench in while it's at 0, and you want to break it over. And let's just make sure everything works properly. You want to do it at your low setting, and then dial in your torque. So let's run these down. Just throw that over there. I've already put some new Loctite on these body bolts. Always start them by hand. Make sure they're good before you put an impact to them. Okay. Let's hit the small ones. I've got this thing set to 32 already. It's not very much. Yeah, you're already at that or better. Okay. Let's dial it up to 122 now. Overshot it. There's 122. Okay. Okay. Hopefully everything's in frame. We got the old body mounts here, as far as I can tell. Man, I don't remember. I'll have to go back and look at the video from earlier. The number stamped on these is 5301. Sounds like the number that was on the other one. Maybe it was 5302. Who the hell knows? Visually, man, they look exactly the same. But I'm not an engineer. So maybe it'll make a difference. Maybe it won't. The only way that we're going to tell is to get the thing out on the road, run it up to 65 to 70 mile an hour and see if the shake's still there. And if it is, maybe we can throw the EVA on and see if the magnitude's gone down any. If not, the next step is going to be isolating with the EVA. We will attach it to maybe the front running gear, the front suspension components, and try to see if there's a specific corner that's generating this vibration frequency. As I said, the frequency is like a first order wheel tire magnitude, so it's something that's a road speed vibration. So wheels and tires have been bounced multiple times. As I said, we're on the third set of wheels and tires, so that should not be the issue. Brake rotors have been swapped out. That should not be the issue. Okay, here we go. Pulling onto the highway for the moment of truth to see whether or not these body mounts made a damn bit of difference. We'll know probably within the first mile. We can get up to speed if people get out of the way. might be a little bit better. We're at 65. Get around this guy. Okay, yeah, we're doing a follow-up on the body mounts. Obviously, the body mounts did not fix the problem with the vibration, the Chevy shake, as it were. Nor would they. Everybody claims that it's frame beaming. I think that has a small impact on what's actually happening. It seems more to me like you probably have something happening and then it's being amplified, and that's what they're saying is the frame beaming side of it. But without getting too far down into the dirt on that, basically, I will say the tuned body mounts as outlined in the TSB seem to maybe dampen it a little bit. I've taken it out on the highway 3 or 4 times now and ran it up into the trouble area on my truck, which was 68 to 72 or so, and it's less, I would say. I would say that it's probably about half of the amplitude that was. Now, granted, I probably should have put the EVA on there and gotten fresh amplitude readings, and I might have some old ones that I can do some comparisons of and then done the swap and checked it. But in summary, I can't remember if these things were $100 a piece or $50 a piece. I'll try and find the TSB and link it down below in the description. But for the money, is it worth it? Well, if your vibration is so minute that it's more just an annoyance, it might be worth it. This might be the thing that pushes it over the edge and gets you to the point where you have a comfortable ride again and no noticeable vibration. Now, if your vibration is as bad as mine, which probably has more to do with some of the suspension stuff that I've got going on, amplifying, it's compounding, I should say, not amplifying. Probably not. You probably need to find the source of the vibration and get this thing sorted out properly. So the other option that we have is supposedly this thing starts maybe in the steering rack, but I'm not getting any feedback through the steering wheel. All of mine is through the seat. So that's what makes me also wonder if the TSB it's a shot in the dark by the GM engineers once again. And I'll be honest with you, the body mounts that they say are tuned for the regular cab are, I think, just the factory rear mounts for the extended cab or the crew cab. So the whole thing was kind of a snake oil solution, and I don't know. Your mileage may vary on this modification, whether or not this works. If you've tried it, if you've had it done under warranty, if you're thinking about doing it, leave me a comment down below. I would like to hear from other people that have tried some different things outside of just the people on the forums that complain, and nobody ever tries anything. I've tried every solution and then probably 3 or 4 that nobody else has tried at this point in time. So eventually there's not going to be anything besides the chassis left on this truck, and then we get to that point in time, I will gladly accept it. It is strictly frame beaming that's causing this issue, but until then, no, I don't buy it. So we'll see. Stick around, like, subscribe, dislike if you don't like it, I don't care. But thanks for tuning in, guys, and sorry that the content drops have been a little bit slow lately. I just had surgery last Tuesday, so kind of been out of it, trying to get back into the swing of things.